everybody, and welcome to the Fandom Flux Podcast, episode 120. 120. Goddamn.
I'm old.
I don't know what that has to do with 120 episodes, but thank you for sharing. Also, I'm like 3 or 4 years older than you, so...
I'm 120 years old.
That means we've been doing this for over 120 weeks.
It does mean that, yes. It's been over 2 years since we started this podcast. Did we even do anything for the second anniversary? I don't think we did.
It'll be 3 like this fall.
I don't think we actually did anything for the 2-year anniversary. It just kind of passed.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. Oh well. Next milestone would be... Yeah, it'll be the 3-year anniversary because we probably shouldn't do anything for 150. That seems like a shitty number to do something for.
We should.
Yeah.
We should do something equally crappy for it. How about that?
No, you celebrate the 50, the 100, then the 200, because that's a milestone.
Then the 500, then the 1,000.
No, you still celebrate the hundreds, like 300, 400, 500. Then maybe you skip to like 1,000.
If we ever get to 1,000 episodes with this.
I don't see why not. Just fucking...
That would be ridiculous. Because 50 weeks in a year.
Hey, this is not a profitable enterprise, okay? I mean, we get donations, but it's like not a for-profit thing. We do this regardless of like any other factors.
Okay.
So I'm like, whatever. I could just swap out people that just want to stop doing it. That's fine. So,
yeah, I imagine the apocalypse happening and this show is just still going on somewhere.
That could happen.
Yeah.
Do it from my bunker, which is, in actual fact, my flat that has just happened to sink into the sinkhole that sits underneath my city. But just happens to function as a bunker.
It'd be Casey by himself, speaking into a potato, pretending that we're all there.
I could imagine that one actually. I can visualize that quite easily.
I could imagine myself going crazy without you guys, because you guys are awesome. You're my friends.
Aw, thanks. You're pretty great too.
Yeah.
Somehow we ended up with a celebratory thing for episode 120. I'm not entirely sure how that happened.
I don't know. Oh well.
Fuck it, I don't care. Alright, so, episode 120. I am here. Everyone's here, basically. Me, Guy, Slicer, Zero, and Kenshaw. So, yay. Oh, sorry, Kenshi. You want to do your intro thing that you always do?
Oh, yeah. Hi, I'm Kenshi618. And if winter comes around my way one more time, I'm gonna bitch slap it.
Please do.
You wouldn't be the first one to try, but you might be the first one to succeed.
Okay.
Worked once already this
slap
week.
How would you do that? I'm not entirely sure what caused the seasons.
Well, I already did, kinda. You see, it snowed like a mother smurfer this week.
A mother smurfer?
Yeah. Trying to watch my fucking language. So, it snowed like hell last week, and I had to go to work because I work in the news, and news doesn't close because of, the weather.
Yeah.
So, while it was snowing, and it was like at 2 feet at this point and still going, I basically just threw chains on my tires of my like Buick and just drove to work like a boss. So I basically, I did this for 2 days straight until it stopped snowing. So I'd like to think that I bitch slap winter.
Okay. I forgot that you guys had like snow for a while.
Yeah, it's still around. I'm not a fan of it.
I think we had it last week, and that was it. Only I didn't experience any of it because it was gone by the time I went back into work.
You see, you get snow when I'm over here in California. When it's 60 degrees, people go out in jackets. Okay? That's California.
Oh no.
It's so ridiculous. I'm like, that's t-shirt weather.
Hang on, I need to figure out what 60 degrees means.
Oh, that's right. You don't use Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit to Celsius, 15 Celsius. My fucking heating is at 15 Celsius right
I
now,
know.
okay?
That's how it's like in California. If it's 60 degrees or 15 Celsius, they go out in jackets. It was like maybe like 50 this morning, and I saw people with like humongous jackets all pulled up with hoods up, just like, come on.
15 degrees, I can do shorts and t-shirt, fuck's sake.
So yeah, uh, in California, they freak out when there's a slight amount of rain, and they freak out when there's a slight amount of chill.
Okay, that I can kind of understand because it's the kind of weather you're not used to dealing with. Like, we don't have snow tires or tire chains or anything like that in this country because we only get snow like 6 days a year, if that.
Hmm.
I mean, if you guys get rain that rarely, you just you're not prepared for it because you almost never deal with it. So I can kind of understand that.
See,
Though,
that's the thing, though. People shouldn't act that quite that stupid around snow. It's it's not hard to drive in. Just don't be an idiot.
see, it is here because there is so little snow that when it melts, then it's gone, but it'll still freeze over and create black ice. That happens a lot in this country, and that's a problem.
It is. Even carefully, you really can't avoid the dangers of that. So fair enough.
Yeah, yeah, we get a lot of that in this country, not so much the snow. So, still, weather. That's a thing, right, guys?
Mm-hmm.
That's a
Yeah.
small talk topic that we really should be above, but never mind.
Of
Okay,
course we're
so
not.
no, not at all. I'm sure we've talked about stupid as shit on this podcast, haven't
We talked about some stupid stuff.
we? Okay, so we're doing what we're doing. Kenshi, is there anything else that you've been doing since you've basically done some of yours now at this point?
Oh yeah, my phone came down with a raging virus.
As
Your
in 20
Oh,
phone?
days later, or
My phone to the point where the only thing I could do was unlock it.
How'd that happen?
I don't know. I'm not excited about it, but I am excited because I got a new phone now.
hmm.
So it's gonna work out.
Well, I was out on contract or something. It broke, so you get a new one, kind of
Oh
thing.
no, the last one it was way past due for an update. I should have been done a while ago actually, but I don't care about my phone.
Hmm.
I
I know the
just
feeling.
I just care to the point where it does what I need it to do, and so I never upgraded it. But did now because of that raging virus.
Anything cool? Or just a phone.
Just a phone, just an
Fair play.
S5.
That's not a phone. That's a decent phone.
Well, that's what I got. You see
Yeah,
how
well, fair play.
this is how much I don't care about it.
That's fair play. S5. It's better than mine, actually. I have an S3 from the last time I upgraded,
I
so.
had an S2.
Yeah, I've had like two phones throughout all the time I've had phones. I had the fucking um, V3 Razor or something when that came out, like 15 years ago. I'm guessing. I don't know. I had that for like 10 years until I swapped out for the S3. So I really don't care about phones. It was never a fad that I got into. So
Good man.
mm, save a lot of money that way. Anything else, Ken?
That's all I got. Nothing much.
Fair play. I'll go next because why not? Um, I got a phone call on Tuesday, about 2 hours before I went into work.
Hmm.
Uh, have I mentioned about how the holidays are weird at my work? How they've been weird because we can't take any because someone's been off sick for 3 months.
Oh yeah, I think you mentioned that.
Yeah.
How do they
So
still have a job?
because they had to have surgery. So,
Oh,
and
okay, fair enough.
she's actually a significant person in the business. She's like the team leader and knows the most about the stuff that we actually sell. Anyway, so she's been off for 3 months. So for the past 3 months, no one's been able to take any holidays, which was a problem for me because I have had about 4 weeks of holiday left, and they have to be taken before April 1st. And most of us are actually in a very similar position. We have all of this holiday that we can't really take particularly easily, so we've had to figure out how to have everyone take all of their holidays before April 1st. So, back to what I was saying, I got a phone call on Tuesday morning, about 2 hours before I went into work. It was the manager saying, "Hey, I've been trying to figure out how to do holidays. You wouldn't happen to want to take most of this week off, would you?" So, yeah, I've basically got all of this week off except for Saturday.
Ah.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned this in the Dark Souls Let's Play that we filmed on Tuesday, and I think Slicer was right. He said, that's just not a conversation you get from like your manager at work.
No, not
It
really.
doesn't happen where the manager says, "Hey, you want to take some time off that we'll pay you for?" So that's
It's paid
kind of
time off?
yeah, it's holiday. It's
Dude,
vacation days,
that's
as you would
cool.
call it. Yeah. So I get these 4 days off. That's kind of cool, and I've still got all of the rest of my time off to take yet. I don't even know what's happening with that. So that's kind of nice. I spent basically all week playing Dragon's Dogma. That's a really good game, guys.
I'm going to be picking it up actually after the podcast.
Yeah, you should probably play it, guys. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah, kind of like Dark Souls, only instead of hacking away at like a 50-foot guy's shins for the entire fight and that's somehow killing him, you actually have to try and grab onto the enemy, climb up them, and stab them in their weak points. Like
From what I've
weak
seen, it
points
looks like a
actually
weird
matter.
combination of Shadow the Colossus and Dark Souls.
Yeah, and it's really cool. So, yeah. Also, I may have mentioned to Slicer again in the Dark Souls Let's Play that I kind of maybe fetishized my companion character a little bit.
Little bit, just a
Not
little.
entirely ashamed of it, no.
Anyone want to
Like,
guess what he has a harem of?
Do we want
I'll
to
give
know,
you a
or is
hint.
it?
It's the voices.
there are two female voice actors for the companion characters called pawns, okay? One of them is I don't know her name, but she was the woman who voiced Cornelia in Code Geass. I don't know who that is. But
All right.
yeah, one of them is her. The other one is Laura Bailey.
I knew it. I knew it.
And then there are 5 pitch shifted versions of those two voices.
I don't know whether to be impressed or disappointed.
Funnily enough, 90% of people, when they create their companion characters, which then get shared online so people can borrow them, that's how you fill out your party. You make one companion character of your own, naturally, Laura Bailey, not surprising. And then you pick 2 from the online ones from other players. 90% of people pick the Laura Bailey voice for female characters. 90% of them. Not even. It's not even entirely intentional that I happen to be walking around with a harem of women that sound like Laura Bailey.
Yeah, totally not. That you definitely didn't have any kind of choice in this. There's no player
No,
agency in who you choose.
no, it's just how it turned out, I guess. Oh well.
Guess you'll just have to
Guess I
suffer
gotta
through it.
live with it.
Yeah,
It's
poor
just something
Casey.
you just gotta suffer through it, you know?
Yeah, that's that's fine. I can endure. It's fine.
Of course.
Um, yeah. So
I don't know, man. I might be able to go solo, you know?
It's really not. Don't do that. Yeah. So my created character is a moderately tall woman with large breasts, pixie cut red hair, and sounds like Laura Bailey. I have entirely fetishized this character, and she has speech patterns. You can alter speech patterns to say how they will sound and how they'll talk. So she has ended up sounding very demure and very deferential.
Why
Yeah,
don't you
I have
just call it the
totally.
Laura Bailey squad at this point?
Yeah, I have totally fetishized the character, and I am absolutely not ashamed of it at this point. I don't care. This is awesome. This is a great game. I am so happy with this game.
Bailey's
uh,
Fairleys.
shut up, Zero. Yeah,
Or
so I'll basically
Casey's
be playing.
Angels or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, so I've been playing that for most of the week. Took a bit of a break to play something else for a little bit. I installed Docksides 2, the Definitive Edition. Uh, it's a pun because you play as Death in the game.
Yeah, I got
It's
it.
funny.
I
Mm.
I heard that I remember THQ got disbanded and everything, and the Darksiders properties got sold off. Uh,
Yeah, I think Nordic Games. I think that's who did the Definitive Edition. So I think that's who's running the show on it now.
I think they're going to be making a third one, so I might go. I had it at one point, then I lent it to a friend, the original Darksiders 2, and I lent it to a friend, and he never returned it, and it just kind of disappeared.
Hmm.
Which is what happens when you lend things to people you don't trust. So,
It's true.
yeah,
Yeah,
I might pick it up.
it is a very good game. I mean, it might be a weird thing just because I'm playing it on PC, but it does this really weird disorienting thing with the lighting and textures where if you move the camera a certain way, the textures will change and the lighting will change, and then you move it back and it'll change back. Like
Oh, that's a bug.
in the space of a frame, it'll just change, and it's really disorienting.
That's a bug.
Mm.
Like, they need to fix that.
Well, it's been out for like a year.
I
So.
know, but they need to fix that still.
Uh, yeah, it's probably pretty good. I mean, I stopped playing when I noticed that because it was really doing my head in. But I'll probably go back to it and play it some more at some point when I'm not playing Dragon's Dogma, which is a really good game for reasons. Um, aside from that, not really been doing much. Relaxed. Got my flat clean because I had a tenancy review on Monday, basically saying, "Hey, I'm still living here and it's okay and no one hates me, so maybe you could give me a full tenancy and I can have rights as a tenant and things like that. That'd be cool."
Why would they do that?
I think at some point, unless they have reason not to, they kind of have to. So I have done very well not to give them reasons to not want me to get a full tenancy. So, yay. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks, I will live here and there's not a goddamn thing they can do about it. So,
Awesome.
aside from that, I don't think there's anything else. So that's pretty much me done. Oh, and Dark Souls. I did Dark Souls for like 3 or 4 hours with Slicer. Good progress. Yay.
Hmm.
Yeah. So next we'll go with Guy. Guy, what have you been doing?
Well, I'm pretty dead right now. I've been working about 14-hour days all this week trying to get this project finished.
Man, you must hate me for the fucking holiday tour.
Yeah, I do a little bit, but
I don't blame you.
so yeah, struggling to think. It's hard words, but
Mm.
so what have I been doing? Well, work, a lot of work, but I won't talk about that. And oh yeah, my brother wants to go on holiday with me, which is that weird? I think that's weird.
It's a bros holiday kind of thing. It's not often you have literal brothers doing that, but yeah, it makes sense.
No, it's me and my brother. We don't really get along very well. I'm pretty sure if I go on holiday with him, one of us will end up killing the other. I mean,
Yeah, I was gonna say he's actually trying to murder you. You should say no.
well,
Well, it depends on the circumstances. I mean, you could, you know, would you be staying like a hotel or campground? If it's a campground, say fucking no. If it's going to be a hotel, you can get separate rooms. Then it's fine. You don't even have to talk to each other for the entirety of the thing.
It's going to be a hotel. It's my mom is the one who pushed it. Me and my brother, we don't really get along very well, so she wants us to go on holiday together to, I don't know, kind of make up or something good like that, and it's just
You can't force that kind of thing.
No, that doesn't work.
I know, she's really, really pushing me, and I think he just wants a free holiday because, well, of course, I'll probably be paying for it.
Oh, well, yeah, then fucking say no.
Yeah, no.
If you have to pay for it, then fucking say no.
Yeah, but she's nagging me on it quite a lot. It's weird. I don't know how to just...
But think of all the money you're going to be effectively throwing in the garbage.
Yeah.
You could
Well,
be like,
just because he's there doesn't mean you can't have a good time. I mean, it would suck if you had to pay for him as well, but you could just go pretend he's not there, have a good time yourself, and then
Apparently,
whatever.
we're going to go halves on it, but well, I make good money. He doesn't make very much at all, so I'll probably end up going more than half.
listen, guy,
And
here's what you do. Find out however much you believe this trip will cost. Go to your mom's house and be like, hey, mom, I got an idea. Drop all the money on her front lawn, set it on fire, and be like, that was more fun than this trip was going to be.
we will probably end up killing each other. It's me and my brother. We fight quite a lot. We argue all the time. And yeah, the last time was at Christmas. He pretty much grabbed me by the neck and threatened to throw me off the bridge.
Or here's another
Well,
idea. You can hire me to like lurk in the background as security. You'll
Well,
never
Of
know I was
course, your
there
your
unless I'm needed.
vacation will be paid for.
Yeah, of course.
to be fair, he probably wasn't completely unreasonable because I did threaten to run him over. So yeah,
Oh,
we have
well.
problems, me and my brother.
Listen, if you cannot threaten to run your brother over, then that is not brotherhood, as far as I'm concerned.
yeah, okay. Ken? Actually, tell you what, Guy, where would you be going
Uh,
on this holiday?
I've got no idea. Probably somewhere in Europe, Spain, or something, I guess.
Okay. Ken, I would be careful about the suggestion. I mean, not to be weird about it or anything, but big, muscular black guy lurking in the shadows does not sound like a good or healthy idea for anyone involved.
I won't be lurking in the shadows. I'll be in.
You literally
Guy will
used the
know where
word
I
lurking.
am. Guy will know exactly where I am at all times. So
I
there's
don't know
a
what you're
suit
talking about. It sounds like
there.
a good
Just
idea.
nobody else will know that I'm Guy's quote unquote bodyguard. Like he'll be able to
That's
see me.
a problem,
That's
though.
that's the
Yeah,
problem.
that's kind of weird.
It's only as weird as you make it, bro.
Just wear a Naruto headband. They'll know you're a ninja.
Yeah, yeah, that'll go over well.
So yeah, I've got to find a way of convincing my mum not to send me on holiday with my brother. It's
Well, if you're paying for it, she can't say you to do shit unless she wants to chip in.
she can nag me a lot, and she can make it out like I'm the bad guy for not giving him a chance. And yeah, it's a lot of nagging. I'm still thinking we'll go on holiday with him, and then I'll just fly back straight away, and we'll buy the return ticket for him. Just leave him there. That might be the
Wow.
best.
That would be so much better. Do that.
It would, wouldn't it?
We give such bad advice on this podcast.
Listen, I still believe my advice is great. Like I can prevent anything bad from happening. You can try and enjoy your trip with the knowledge that if something goes down, Ken will be right there to clock the guy over the head and
Uh,
stop all bad things from happening.
I can take my brother in a fight. He's not that tough.
But you don't want to, which is the point.
No,
I
actually, I
will be
do want to. That's
glad to.
kind of the problem. Yeah, I'm not against fighting my brother at all. I'm
Well,
probably
in
more
that case,
for it.
I can stop you from going too far,
Uh,
and also get in some cheap shots as well because
Ken,
I like
Ken,
to
the
hit things
peace
too.
broker.
he just wants a free holiday,
He's
doesn't he?
Yeah, he
I want a
does.
Yeah.
free holiday and I want an excuse to hit something. That's two things that you're offering that I just can't turn down.
Ugh.
Ken, lurking black guy for hire.
Great.
The Black Shadow. Wait, that's redundant. Never mind. I'll think of something better than that. I
No,
promise.
the case is the white shadow, so there you go.
Hmm. Okay. Anything else, guy?
That's about it, I guess. And a bit of more work, but yeah, I said that. Deadlines are coming up. So,
End of the financial year and all that makes everything crazy, no matter what.
well, we're already about 2 months behind the schedule here. Yes, we're still traveling. Have to push over just to get it finished. The customer is threatening lawsuit right now, so.
Well, that's always fun.
Mhm.
Okay.
I still say we should just provide the motors, but rig them to explode as soon as the customer gets them. That would be the best way of solving it.
Maybe.
Okay. Audience, never even consider doing anything even close to sound like we're suggesting. Ever. Don't. Not even. Don't.
You should do what I say. I mean, I take my own advice all the time and look at where I am in life. I'm a winner.
You also frequently hurt yourself.
I'm fine
Yeah.
with that. And if you are too, then take Ken's advice.
So, Slicer, what have you been doing this week?
Have I mentioned I got into a car crash?
We heard last week from Nick.
Yeah, that was he.
Yeah.
I approve of how he revealed that. That was pretty funny. Well, I assume anyway. Just tell me about it. Anyway, so I pulled out of McDonald's, got blindsided by a truck. He had the right of way, so I got cited for it. That's fun. Yep. Anyway, so that was on a Saturday. I was without a car for a week. We bought the car next Sunday that I have now. We were fixing it up for Monday and Tuesday. I got it on Wednesday. Wednesday morning, I drove it just fine. And last night, Wednesday night, I got a speeding ticket because I was so distracted by the fact that the lights don't work or work very poorly that I forgot to turn off my cruise control coming off the highway. And it's a road that goes from a interstate into a highway, so the speed drops for like 20. So it went from 65 to 55.
I was driving to my house this morning from like my first class, and I saw a cop like looking around the corner. I saw cop just parked and like washing on this long stretch of road, and I'm like, "Am I speeding? Oh, I'm not. I'm not. Okay, cool." And the guy ahead of me is going slightly faster, so there's still that. But yeah, that
Yeah.
sucks.
What's even worse is I was 20 feet from one of those, like, caution the speed changes ahead yellow signs.
Hmm.
So I would have seen that and slowed down. If I wouldn't have been pulled over 2 seconds later, I would have stopped or slowed down. So
Yeah,
that's
that
great.
was
Awesome.
unfortunate placement of the cop.
Yeah,
Sounds like.
And the sign.
$120 that I'm not getting back. On top of the 200 I already paid 2 weeks ago. So great. Also, one more thing on my license, and I get my license taken away. Woo.
I don't know how, but I've never gotten a speeding ticket. I
That's
have
lucky.
gotten I've gotten into a car accident. I've hit another car once in a parking lot, but I have never gotten a speeding ticket. And I don't know how.
Gotten one speeding ticket because of an impromptu race with a Mack truck, but that's it.
That's okay.
I don't even. I don't even.
At least that's a cool way to get a speeding ticket. You
I
just
kicked
had a
his ass.
race.
I kicked his ass.
Hmm. Yeah, aside from that, I've just been doing school stuff. Last night, as opposed to getting caught up on sleep, as I probably should, I instead binge watched movies. So, yeah,
Yay.
'cause I wasn't really in a mood to do anything, and sleeping was it somehow counted as something, so I was in the mood.
Are they regular movies
Yeah,
or adult movies?
no, regular movies.
Okay.
I got a list somewhere. It's a few
Mhm.
movies, mostly comedy stuff, honestly.
Mm.
Also, sometime today I'm gonna watch Joe Dirt 2. Just I want
Okay.
to know how bad it is.
There's a
Does
It's
Joe Dirt
that one
probably really
have?
too?
bad.
Does it
Yes, there's
still
a
have
Joe
Christopher
Dirt.
Walken?
Does it still have
No.
what?
Christopher Walken?
Yes, actually.
Oh, really?
A lot of the actors are returning, so yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Joe Dirt 2 just kind of was like, yeah, it's happening. And then nobody knew when it got released because it made like no noise.
It didn't because it was a exclusive for a site called Crackle. Has anyone heard of that?
No.
Yes. I don't know what
No.
Crackle
You
is,
have?
but I heard of it.
Oh. Well, yeah. So we actually have. I don't know if I mentioned. I quit my job briefly because classes started again, and then I
Yep.
needed money due to the car ticket, which I got at work. So
Mhm.
I just got my job back, and they didn't really care. Apparently, I'm the only reliable employee, so I could probably kill a customer and shit on their desk, and they would still love me.
You're the only functional human being they got, so they got to
Yeah,
keep you.
pretty much.
Well,
Yeah.
you work in retail in one of those terrible, what is it, like a dollar store?
Dollar General, I
Yes.
believe it was.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a Dollar
So
General.
it makes sense that you would be the only functional employee. Yes.
Basically, have you ever seen a Dollar
Yeah.
General?
No, we have pound shops, so Poundland. Yes.
It's a better name than that.
Right. You don't see that as a currency. I see how that's funny now. Actually. Yeah.
Oh, that was great.
It took a moment.
Hmm.
Poundland.
I'm never gonna be able to see that shop the same way again.
How did you not? How have you not made
It's a
that connection?
currency over here. It's not the connection you make.
Okay, sure. Okay, yeah.
Oh God. The only thing that would have
I
made that
com
better is if it wasn't called Poundland, but Pound Town. That would have been just the best.
I've been laughing a lot.
I now have a new business idea.
First eeny meeny miny moai, now Pound Town. It's a good day. It's a good day.
I forgot what I was talking about, honestly.
Films.
Right, films, yes. So
Oh, and you got
yeah,
your job back.
yeah, there's that. So about 4 days a week I'm working, something like that. It's not a too demanding schedule, but I also have the job on campus, so I'm making some decent money, making more than I'm spending, so that's good.
Yay. I can say the
Yep.
same. Oh, I also opened a savings account because I noticed the same thing. I'm actually making decent enough money that I can put money away. Yay. It's great.
Nice.
I
Nice.
actually probably should just use my bank as a saving. I usually just I've the only reason I made a bank account is so my jobs would have somewhere to put the money that I could then get instead of sending me a physical check.
Hmm.
Yeah. Classic checks up.
Yeah. So pretty much every Friday I drop both jobs pay me on Friday, which is really nice. So I just
That's
drop by on
awesome.
Friday and take all but like $10 out of the account. Yeah, that's how I've been treating my bank account so far. So I might actually treat it as a savings device now.
Slicer takes
Hmm.
cash out of his bank every Friday and takes baths in it.
Yeah.
What are you
I
doing?
mean,
Hiding it under your mattress? I don't understand. Why would. It's a. Okay.
I
You're a
haven't
crazy
really made
person. Yeah.
enough to actually. I mean, I've made like $200 at once before, so I put about 100 on my desk or something, and then just whenever I needed more, I'd grab 20 or 50 or whatever.
Okay. Crazy person.
Easier than
I
dropping by the
demand,
bank.
I demand a video of Slicer laying on his bed while Nick or Tylertron throws hundreds of dollars at him in the form of singles. I demand it.
Yeah, the joke was made that around Christmas time I had to clean up the Christmas aisle, so I had glitter all over me. So I came home smelling like sweat and covered in glitter. And so my family has the running joke that I don't actually know where I work. It's not the Dollar General. They just call me the Dollar General.
That's the
Oh.
place we get all those ones from.
Yeah, I enjoyed that quite a bit. But yeah, that's pretty much my weeks. Week, 2 weeks. Yeah.
Okay. General. Zero.
Yeah.
You're next.
Guy mentioned going on vacation with his brother, and that made me think of this spring break. I'm going down on a mission trip with my church with my younger brother. He's going too. And we both chose construction as what we wanted to do, and we both ended up in the same group.
Oh dear.
So I'm gonna be with my younger brother, and well, my relationship mechanic with my brother is not quite like guys, or it's like they want to fight each other. It's more like my brother kind of wants to fight me, but I just want to hug him. So that
Okay.
it's gonna be probably embarrass him, which
Why does your brother want to fight you?
Because he's his brother.
because my brother is the more aggressive, serious one at times.
Hang on, Zero. Ken,
Yes.
what do you and your brother do when you meet up?
Uh, I don't know. Try to see who's better than the other one at life.
By fighting each other, yes.
We haven't fought in forever since it became clear that he can't do anything with me anymore.
No, he did join the military, so
I can
it's
still kick
entirely
his.
possible. You really?
It's not. I'll still kick his ass.
Okay. I'll take your word for it, but the point is still made. He still wants to fight you, he just can't at the moment. So he's working on it.
Yeah.
Anyway, Zero.
So that's gonna be happening in March. Um, Also, yeah, we did record the D&D, or at least the first hour or so of it of a session.
There were
Um,
problems.
there were. I also recently found out that for the immediate future, my boss is going to need me to keep opening on Saturdays, so we might need to work out different plans for that. We'll probably talk after the podcast or something. We'll work something out.
If
Of
you have time, I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure you have to
I have to
leave.
leave afterwards, so at another time, I guess. Overall, I think it went well, for the D&D at least. I mean, there were some things I was kind of flying by the seat of my pants, but I think he did a good job of covering it. Uh, Casey went through an ordeal, which I do plan to give him a reward for surviving that ordeal, just so,
Yay.
you know, just so he doesn't feel like I'm hating on him or anything. No, if you survive an ordeal, yeah, for example, Casey, I think you deserve some experience after that encounter.
Great.
So there's that, and you can get a physical item too. Physical.
Great.
So and trauma. You'll get lots of trauma,
Mm-hmm.
but don't worry about that.
Mm.
There were some fun times. We are going to probably be adding Slicer's other friend into it. Uh, we'll introduce her when the time comes, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so there was that. That happened. I'm working on some other things for the campaign, just kind of seeing what other plans I can do. If we can't meet up like next Saturday, I'll look into possibly, since the whole group isn't together yet, I can do sort of intro things for separate people or separate groups of people. So I might look into that.
Okay.
Okay, moving on. My dad got a new TV because his bonus is right around the corner. So we had a 65-inch plasma in our living room, but my dad was like, "No, that's not good enough." So we got ourselves. He went out and he got himself a 75-inch 4K Ultra HD LED TV, and he's been just freaking out over it. I had to lift the TV, and we had to move the 65-inch upstairs, to his room, and we had to take the old like 62-inch off of that, which was surprisingly light. The 65-inch was a heavy one, and the lightest one though was a 75-inch. So now that basically fills up a huge chunk of space. And they went and got a new receiver, so he could get better sound quality. And now my dad is finally happy.
Oh man, Zero, that sounds like such an ordeal for you to go through. To have to
I had to lift the
move those 60 plus inch TVs, the three of them, that your family owns.
Well, there's also
I feel for you, buddy.
well, technically it's 4 now, but there's another one
I'm
in the
not
loft.
helping your case.
But the 65-inch was heavy. We had to take it up the stairs, so that's always dangerous because if that falls, somebody gets hurt. Um. So yeah.
I like how we
uh,
just found inner peace after getting that many TVs. I am complete. I've got enough TVs now.
well,
What's that,
those are
sorry?
just the 60 plus inches. There's another TV in my brother's room, another TV in my room, and another TV in the garage.
Oh, of course.
But those aren't
Have you
60 plus inch.
Of course,
have
you
you
don't have
filled
one
up
in the
every room
bathroom
in the
yet, so.
house, or
We
what
don't
are you
have
doing
TVs in the
with TVs?
bathroom. We don't have TVs in the bathrooms.
That's next. Yeah.
We don't have TV in
Excellent.
the pantry or in the entryway. We have a TV we can take outside to the garage, or not to the garage, to the TV in the garage. We would sometimes, before we put it in the garage, we'd take it out and we'd watch it in the backyard. But yeah, my dad likes his TVs. He's like, I don't know what's better, new car day or new TV day. I'm like,
You have a new
okay,
car day. Okay.
my dad likes
I want to
TVs.
stab something. New car day? God damn it.
He hasn't gotten the only new car he ever gets is from his work. It's a company
Okay,
car.
fair enough. That's different.
Okay. He doesn't buy cars like he buys TVs. We're not that rich. Uh,
No. 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 I don't even know what point I'm actually trying to get out here, but I'm just gonna stick no.
School started. So I'm now taking like 5 classes. I'm taking a writing fiction class, a lot of English classes. So I'm expecting to learn a lot from that. My writing class is actually having us write in a journal like every day.
It
Not
would be,
necessarily
you know,
journal,
what'd be
but
ironic if you
but
failed that fictional writing class. That would be ironic.
I don't want to. But you have to write in a notebook every day, and it just gets into the habit of writing every day, which is actually pretty good habit. I like that.
Mm.
Is there
Uh,
like a minimum word count you need to write, or what's the
no,
requirement there?
she's like, no. There's no minimum word count. I'll just check, and I won't even check and see what you've written, just that you've written.
Oh, all right.
So you could write, "It's a nice day out," and that's fine. That's all you have to write. Just get into the habit of writing at least something.
Is it even possible to fail that, or
To fail to not do it. I mean, that's really the only way you could screw that part up. Um, let's see. Let's see. Oh yeah, I was watching some animes. I went through an anime called Erased, and it's really good. Like it's really compelling. The premise is that there's this guy who's a manga artist, or tries to be, can't get published. He's 29 years old, works for a pizza delivery place, but he has this kind of weird power where whenever something bad is about to happen, he'll get sent back like a minute or 5 minutes in time to stop that bad thing from happening. And he ends up going through some stuff. I don't want to spoil anything, but it's really good. And I had to binge watch all 3 episodes that were out simply because it was really good. Um, yeah, I like it a lot. There's some sad parts in it, some kind of messed up parts in it, but I recommend watching it. It's very emotional, and I like to see. I like the characters. I also did my random A, but I don't know if we're going to be doing that as a separate topic. Separate
Yeah, we'll
topic.
get to that.
We'll get to that then. And last thing, I started playing. Nintendo released Mario and Luigi Paper Jam, which is a Mario and Luigi game crossed over with Paper Mario. It's okay.
No, it isn't.
No,
It's a Mario and Luigi game with cameo characters from Paper Mario.
and Paper Mario, some Paper Mario mechanics, kind of. Um, yeah, I mean, personally, I just want another Paper Mario game. Like, I really, this is okay, I guess, but
You
yeah.
didn't like Sticker Star?
don't mention that ever. Please, no.
Hmm.
So it's enjoyable. I mean, that's all I can really say about it. It's not a great game. The writing's pretty good, but nah, it's. I wish I just had a Paper Mario game. Um, and I just remembered something. Oh yeah, Nintendo announced a new game, and this is gonna be the last thing for my week. Called Great Detective Pikachu.
Oh god, I forgot about this.
You know, there were pictures of a Pikachu face that was like humanized and everything that were leaked a long time ago. That was for
Hmm.
this project, Great Detective Pikachu. You know how in the Pokemon anime you had Meowths that could talk? Well, get ready
Yes.
because you have a Pikachu that can talk like a hard-boiled detective.
Oh
He
God.
wears a deer stalker.
Yep,
He kind of sounds like Basil the Great Mouse Detective. I'm not gonna lie,
and yep,
like a Japanese version of Basil the Great
he
Mouse
drinks his
Detective.
coffee black, by the way. Yes, this is a Pikachu that is a great detective, takes his coffee black, and I think is a womanizer. I'm not sure.
That
Uh,
what?
because of the way there's one part where this girl's walking, he's looking at her and he's smiling. I'm like, Pikachu, you. I feel like
Hey, remember that game Sonic 06 with fucking? Mhm.
well, I feel like this Pikachu is a person that turned into a Pokemon because that's actually something that's canonically happened in the Pokemon series.
It has. It happened a few
Uh,
Yeah,
times. Ash, doesn't it?
it happened in Pokemon Red and Blue. So
it's in the Pokedex entries.
Yeah, Bill did that shit to himself.
yeah. So I'm thinking that's what happened to this, and now you have a Pikachu that was a person or something like that. Either way, the game looks like it would be looks like it's actually gonna be really interesting and really fun because it's a detective game, but with Pokemon. I want to see what they do with it. It could either be really good or
It's
really
never going to be
bad.
released in this country.
I wouldn't say that.
In your country, rather. It's not going to happen.
It,
It's
it,
too niche. It's not going to happen.
I'm not gonna say that. There's a good chance if there's a good fan response. Um, like there are games that have been released only in Japan. Like Pokken was released only in Japanese arcades, but now that's coming to the US, I believe. So they may not have announced the US release date yet, but I feel like it will come out, depending on fan reaction. If it's a good game, at least. That's it. Great Detective Pikachu.
Hmm. I should probably put a link for that. Div Pikachu.
It's pretty
Okay.
good.
um. All right. So that's the fucking what we're doing stuff. So next up is Random A. So we're going to talk about the ones that we were supposed to do at the very least for the past couple weeks. Kenchua still hasn't seen his because it's Kenchua. So who wants to go first?
I do.
Okay, Zero, go first.
So
What was yours called?
Magipoka. Magipoka.
Okay.
So this is it's actually pretty funny. It's a comedy series. And it's about these four girls that all live in this they all have these house this house in this tree. And one's a cyborg, one's a werewolf, one's a vampire, and one's a witch. And the opening's pretty strong, but it also gives pretty strong Yuri vibes. So make of that what you will.
So it's a pretty strong opening then.
um, it's pretty funny. There's one part where you start with a vampire girl, and she sees this like this hot guy, and she's like, "Oh man, I need to suck some blood," and she goes for it, and then like it turns out that the hot guy was just a trap and was actually just filled with holy water by this like scientist who's trying to capture them to prove that they actually exist and stuff. And it's like it shows the holy water. You have this priest who's just like in a flashback watering his lawn with like a hose and just like he's just got that water, and the scientist distracts him and then steals the water he was using to water his plants, and that's holy water. and
Okay.
because he was a priest and he was using it to water his plants, so it's obviously holy water. Uh,
Yeah. No actual. Yeah. Okay.
it's funny. I like the jokes. I was actually surprisingly like it's got fan service like every anime, but it's comedic enough to say, yeah, I'd like this. It's lighthearted, although the opening suggests there might be like dark parts that come later on into the series, but like there's a whole later part of the episode where the witch girl wants to get mail because and she's like, we don't have a mailbox. So she goes with the cyborg and they keep trying to make bigger mailboxes and more mailboxes and they don't get any mail because nobody's even sending the mail in the first place. So it's funny. I like it, I guess, for my simplistic tastes and humor.
Okay.
Now, now, Casey, you want to talk about what you got?
No.
I think it's your
Okay.
turn, Casey.
Okay. The thing that I experienced was Otome wa Boku ni Koshiteru, which is I forget what it translates out to, but holy shit, they want me to cross dress as a girl because reasons is the basic translation that I've interpreted is what that means. Um, and it sums up the show pretty well. That's basically how they introduce the show and the main character, who um his grandfather passes away, and in his will, he says he wants Mizuho, I think was the name, to attend an all-girls Catholic school
Oh, great. This is
for
going places.
some reason.
Does he own the school? Why would this be
No,
allowed?
uh, don't know, not explained.
With my
See,
dying
here's the thing:
breath, I want you to go
the
to.
first scene, the first scene is literally uh the thing is, in his will, he kind of wants you to attend an all girls school, and the protagonist is like, "Oh yeah, that sounds perfectly reasonable. If it's his last request, that's fine." What the fuck are you talking about? But then that reaction immediately goes away, and no one actually tells him what the fuck they're talking about, or why they think it's a good idea for him to attend an all girls school, or what the hell that's going to mean in the future when people are looking at his school records and wondering why he went to an all girls school as a dude. But none of that is explained. It's just, okay, let's fucking do this then. I'm a girl now. Yay, let's put pretty dress on, give me makeup and shit, and make me look like a pretty girl.
That's how Japan gets down. I'm pretty sure anyone looking in college, looking at his like high school transcripts and stuff, be like, "Oh, he processed as a girl to get into school. Cool. What's next?"
Okay, so that happens. Then he goes to the school as a girl. And, uh, bafflingly enough, he meets the head teacher, which is a nun, naturally, because Catholic school. And meets his homeroom teacher. And then it spends like a good 5-10 seconds with a zoom shot focused on her tits that bounce as she walks.
Okay, anime.
I
Got to give people what they want.
So
This was the point where I was starting. Who's this show for again? Because the basic concept.
it's for people who want to dress up as girls and still like girls.
That's
There you go.
fine, but the protagonist doesn't want to. Like, it is established quite well that he's very, very uncomfortable with this entire situation, but it's never explained why he goes along with it anyway.
That's how genderbender stories work. The character doesn't like it because that's the author's job.
That makes
The
no.
reluctance is what they want to put in. But like the whole premise sounds kind of stupid.
Kind of.
And by that
Kind
I
of
mean
stupid.
really it's so contrived.
So, yeah, he goes to the school, and he has a friend there who's like a childhood friend. You know the deal. It's a childhood friend story, blah, 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 blah. And she knows that he's a dude. So she helps him try and be more like a lady and gives him shit for not talking ladylike, even though she's supposed to be a tomboy. And then more fan service happens with said girl, again, like 5-10 second shot focused on her cleavage because she's leaning down to talk to him. And then pajama party where she's wearing sexy negligee for some reason in an all-girls school.
Yes, of course. Of
Oh,
course, these
no
girls
men
are.
around. I mean, time to strip and wear sexy things.
I think that's basically the explanation that the show gave as well.
You mean, isn't that how it works?
Despite the fact these girls probably be pure because they don't go around guys that often. So I don't know.
Oh, that came off a little creepy, Zero, but never
Yeah,
mind.
just a bit.
Uh,
But I mean, like in terms of they wouldn't dress up like that. You'd think with like sexy negligee. I don't know.
yeah, so it's weird. Mostly because this comes off as like a male fantasy, but this is a pretty fucking niche male fantasy.
Yeah.
Like, I I spent a long time wondering who the fuck this was supposed to be for.
And
And
commenting on it.
yeah, I was watching this before we started the podcast basically because I remembered at the last minute.
Casey,
And
are you saying that you've never wanted to go to an all-girls Catholic school and be one of them
no, I haven't.
while still looking at their boobs? Is that not your fantasy?
No, it really isn't.
Cross-dressing is a thing which exists,
It is a thing that exists.
Yeah, that's...
And again, that's a very niche market to,
But
try and
it's still a
work
market
with.
that exists. Well, it's
I guess. Yeah.
the whole
There's
gender
anime
bender
about
thing.
there's anime about everything.
Yeah. I This is just a show that is so very, very, very not for me.
Yeah.
Like spectacularly so. I mean, I would watch that fucking stupid, incredibly contrived, pointless shonen crap that we reviewed in Casey Uncle Funkle Casey's Good Time Explosion or whatever the crap we called it. I'd watch those anime before I'd watch anything like this.
Go watch Magipoka. It's very fun and lighthearted.
It sounds better than this was, to be honest. Also, very stereotypical view of what girls are like. I don't know whether that's Japan or that's the author in particular, but that's, you know,
That's how
this room is incredibly pink and there's sparkles everywhere. Well, that's what it's a girls' room. They're all like that.
Well, it's a cross-dressing story. All the traits will be highlighted, won't they?
I guess.
It's-
Whatever.
Exaggerated, yeah.
I
Flanderized.
hated this. I hated it so much, but it's obviously not for me, so that kind of makes sense.
Ooh, look, are we gonna roll more randomies?
We're going to roll one more that all of us are going to watch because it's stupid doing multiple people doing different ones.
Ooh,
Because only one person can talk about it.
ooh, cool.
So I'm gonna just copy and paste what the fucking show is called because I'm not gonna try and type that out again.
Magipoka.
My one, not yours. My one was in Japanese. All right.
What
Who's
the
next?
poke is for?
Who's next?
Do you want me to go next?
I can go next, I guess. I'll watch mine.
Let's go with Guy next.
Sorry, what was that?
Let's go with Guy next.
Mine one was called Setsu no Tenpasu. It's Blade of you know what? I'm going to use all the English names. It's easier. Blade of Tempest. It went all right. It was like an action fantasy story. So the basic plot is it focuses really around three main characters at the beginning. One of them was Yoshino, who's my first impression of him. He's just like an ordinary guy, doesn't really know much about him. And then his best friend, Mahiro, he was the more violent, interesting, the rebel sort of one. And then also there's the person who kicks off the main plot, which isn't really in it that much. Hake is this girl, young teenager who was left stranded on an island because she was a magic user, and there's lots of evil conspiracy things going around in the background. So the pilot is the first episode is a bit all over the place because it tries to introduce a lot, and yeah, but it does get better. It's an alright series. It's got good action in it. So the basic premise is this mage, this girl, she's on this island all alone. She has to stop the end of the world coming by protecting the tree of Genesis from her aid to former mentor person who's trying to steal it. So she sends off this magic doll with her magic powers on it, offering to give those to anybody who helps her, and is found by this guy, my hero, who's lost his sister and he wants to avenge his dead sister, and it's it's got a lot of stuff like that. It's the type of
Okay.
story where they could probably save about 5 minutes of the first chapter if they just stopped all the slow motion all the time. There was a lot of slow motion in it, even in the short action scenes that there was. But it's it was actually all right. It reminded me a lot of Fate Stay Night actually, kind of a cheaper version of Fate Stay Night maybe.
So kind of like action slot, but doesn't really go for anything even close to like Fate Stay Night tried to be kind of slightly higher brow, a little bit.
Well, no, I think this is trying. Actually, really is trying. It's just doesn't really do it as well. I don't think.
Right.
But
Okay.
honestly, I'm being really negative here. But it was actually quite a good anime series. Yeah, I quite enjoyed watching it. To be fair, it's um, so yeah, lots of characters coming in. The first chapter is a bit all over the place. It introduces this whole plot story, two big plots going on. This guy's sister got killed about a year ago, and it turns out that he was also in a secret relationship with Yoshino. Was also in a secret relationship with my hero, and is implied to know all sorts of stuff about her, and is uh, trying to figure it all out. And then in the background, there's this rebel mage war going on. Lots of people are turning into iron, and people are hunting
Okay.
everything.
It sounds like there's a lot of stuff going on for just the first
There
episode.
is, there really is a lot of stuff going on in just the first episode. It's a bit all over the place. It really is, but it does
Okay.
get better. It does try to clear itself out. Yeah, I was looking at it. It was based on a manga, and apparently it was actually an allusion to Hamlet, which
Of course it was,
yeah,
because fucking everything is.
yeah, which I can kind of see if you squint and look at it
I
backwards.
kind of can't. I don't remember there being a violent rebel character in the fucking Hamlet.
Sorry.
Never mind. Ignore me. Everything. People tried to compare everything to Hamlet. The Lion King wasn't Hamlet. I don't care what people say. It wasn't.
So yeah, that's this series. So, yeah, it was alright. I'm about halfway through it. I kept on watching on afterwards.
Okay. Sisa, you're next.
Yeah, I got Eden of the East. It's I don't even know how to judge this. It's not good. It's not bad, but so the episode starts out with some uh, kind of. It's not quite exposition. It's just things that are happening. It's like terrorist attacks are happening all over Japan, or at least bigger ones are happening to Japan, like missiles and stuff. And so we pretty much skip past that. Actually, it's not played very importantly. And we find our main female character on a school trip or some kind of trip to America. She's at the White House outside the fence and she wants to throw something into the fountain. So she hurls a penny or a yen coin or something in to try to reach the fountain, and the guards are like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And she goes to arrest her or question her at least. And as they're doing this, a naked guy with a gun comes up and is like, "Hey, what's up? Good morning." And that's our main male character rather. Uh, Things kind of progress from there as the somehow he gets rid of the cops. I forget how, and the girl gives him her coat because she's embarrassed, and yet he did kind of save her from being arrested or questioned or whatever, detained. Uh, he doesn't have any memories, and all he has is a phone and the gun on him. So he tries to use the phone, I think, and discovers that it's loaded with like $2 bajillion, a lot of money, basically. We skip right along, no explanation for any of this, and he tries to go back to. Somehow he manages to find his own apartment, and goes back and finds his gears up, takes off the coat and stuff like that. And because the girl's license and identification and passport and stuff were in her coat, she follows him. He burns down his own apartment after that for no explained reason. Uh, let's see. They escape from the cops yet again because there was a security camera footage taken of either her or him, and he was naked, of course. So in this, the one of the cops follows him into the apartment, and it's a female officer, and so she's like, "I need to see your dick," because the security camera footage was of him naked. It was the weirdest scene. I'm like, did she actually just ask that? And yes, she did. And so he disrobes, and he's like, "No, it ain't me." And the officer's just like all blushing, and it's weird. And then as
I'm
he
pretty
gets
sure
away
that's
with
the
it
plot
for
of a porno. That's
yeah, it pretty much is. And he gets away, and the reason is because it was cold that morning, so he is now different looking.
that actually sounds pretty entertaining, to be honest.
That
It
seems
was
pretty funny.
that was the highlight of the episode. It was pretty good.
Okay.
Um, it's as they make their way to the airport. It's explained that the Japanese government or somebody in the government decided to give, I think it's 16 activists or something along those lines, people trying to make Japan better, a lot of money and wipe their memory. And the main male character is one of those people. So he has all of that money to do with whatever he wants as long as it tries to save Japan. If he runs out of money, he fails. And in Fate Stay Night, the church moderators basically, they're kind of an outside force that enforces the rules. They have basically those, and the organizers of it will kill the person who runs out of money and doesn't solve anything. After that, they travel back to Japan. The main character picks a name because he didn't have one. The female character is Japanese, so when he finds like a stack of passports, he chooses the Japanese one, chooses an identity, that kind of thing. And that's basically where the episode ends. It kind of leads into the second episode, which I assume has more things to it. Yeah, it's not a bad series, but aside from the penis thing, I wasn't really entertained by it.
So it's like Born Identity Japan.
Basically, yeah.
Hmm.
I can certainly see the comparison there, but less entertaining.
Okay. Would anyone like to know what I just rolled for the randomy that we're doing next week?
What?
I almost
What is
Yeah.
it?
don't, but hit me with it.
Okay, I rolled a 25 out of 27 for the letter, so that's X. And I rolled a 12. Tell a lie, I rolled like 6 times while you were talking, and it kept coming up with films or cartoons.
Oh,
Uh, and then I rolled a 12, which is XXXholic.
Oh
okay.
yes, I like that one. I
Never
remember
heard of
watching
it.
that one. XXXholic.
I've heard of it. I've never seen anything to do with it. So
Good.
I'll read the summary for you, ladies and gentlemen, if you've never heard of it before. Kimihiro Wataruki is a young boy with a cursed gift. He has the ability to see evil spirits, and somehow they seem attracted to himself. Strange grammar. One day he meets a mysterious woman. What the fuck? Someone needs to fucking proofread this shit. What the fuck? A mysterious woman who names herself Yuko. She claims to have the means to end his torment, but she never works for free, and she wouldn't help him until he works for her enough to pay for her services. Thus, he starts to work in her shop and discovers that in that place, nothing is what it seems.
Link that jank.
All right. Yeah. Yep. So we're watching an episode of XXXholic minimum, and we'll talk about it next week. That's all of us, by the way. So we're only doing one because it's stupid to have everyone do different ones and only them be able to talk about it. Discussion is born from everyone doing it, so makes sense. All right. So that's what we're doing next week. We're basically scrubbing everything else. Yay! Sorted. Topics. Regular topics. We still have those to do, and we're like an hour and a half in, so... Well, an hour and 10, but Zero has to leave in like half an hour. So...
How many topics do we have? Just the 2, is it? Or
3.
3?
I just wanted to just throw this out there, but there is a petition that you can sign. A petition for Danny DeVito to voice the English version of Detective Pikachu.
Be okay with it.
Now,
I mean, the guy that voiced Basil is dead, so it's...
Danny
Who's Danny
DeVito.
DeVito again?
Danny DeVito. Really?
I don't memorize names, actor names.
Okay.
Oh, him. Okay, yeah. I googled him. Yeah, I know who he is now.
Yeah. Always Sunny. Surprisingly enough, the only film that I can think of him in is Junior, which is really, really sad. But yeah.
I remember him as Frank from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I said Always Sunny, but I don't watch it, so
That's
I
where
just know he's in
him.
it.
That's where I love him. I love that show.
So, yeah. Um, I would, yeah. You might know him as Phil from the Hercules movie.
Yes, that's something else he was in. You're absolutely right. Yes, he was Phil, the little goat
Now,
satyr.
if you voiced Detective Pikachu, that would make me the happiest. Like that would be game of the year right there. Dan DeVito as Detective Pikachu. So yeah, that's a petition. Go sign that.
Also, I'm kind of a little bit sad that I actually know that his full name was Philoctetes in that film.
Yeah, nobody cares.
I know. That's what makes it sad.
Over 1,700 people have signed this already. We need more.
Mm.
All right, moving on to actual topics.
Dude. Sherlock Pikachu is pissed.
Yeah. He's the most expressive Pikachu, and I love it.
Really? A fucking deer stalker? You couldn't, like, I don't know, given him a pipe and a fucking violin or something to make it more obvious? Jesus fucking Christ.
He
All right.
seems like the type to get pissed off a lot, so I like that.
Okay, first topic is polling. More specifically, polling to determine where your story is going to go. I'm going to say probably don't do that, personally. That's my opinion on it at this point.
Not for main events. I mean, minor stuff, sure. That gives the readers the sense that they're shaping the story. But yeah, not main stuff. That's terrible.
I think, if memory serves, the reason that I put this topic on the spare topics list was, I think I've talked about the fic before, holding all the cards. The XD fic where Issei gets the card things from Fate, whatever the fuck it was called, the one with Ilya getting the cards that can let her take on the personalities of servants.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the guy that was writing it did a poll for who should be, I think it was the rider class. And he had all the usual suspects for the class, and there's blah blah, fucking Lancelot or fucking Alexander and Siegfried and all this stuff. And then he came up with a really fucking good one for the setting. He came up with St. George. Now, if people aren't familiar with St. George,
Oh, he's the patron saint of dragons, isn't he? Okay, yeah.
he's the patron saint of England, but he is also famed for being the one who slayed the Red Dragon of Wales. the Red Dragon of Wales,
Yeah, I
also
know.
known as Ichrai Goch, as in,
Oh,
yeah, yeah, that guy. You know, the one that's in fucking boosted gear. That guy.
and is still in there in this story. The cards have not
Yes.
replaced him.
No.
Oh,
Am I
that would go
entirely
over
wrong in
so
thinking
well.
that would be a fucking brilliant idea for this story?
I mean, the theme of the story is that his cards are getting him into a massive amount of trouble. That would just build onto that theme.
But naturally, because no one in the fucking world outside of Britain knows who St. George is, no one realized that that would have been the best thing ever. Ever. So they picked some fucking other dude, probably Siegfried or something, I forget, because I didn't really care, because St. George didn't win. That made the story shit.
Did you
So,
did
for
you
things like that,
did you tell this to the author?
I did. I pointed out, this is a really good idea. Fuck the poll, just pick this guy because it's the best thing that could happen to your story. And he went with the poll instead, because that's what people do when they make polls. Unless you're Zero, who did the smart thing and did what he wanted.
Yeah. I used the poll to judge what people want, and then I just did what I wanted anyways.
Yeah, that's generally what I do actually. But yeah, I've done a couple of pulls. That's pretty much the exact same approach I take. It's pulls are interesting. There's nothing wrong with them. But yeah, just got to do with what you want for the story.
It's more to test my own reactions of what I want to actually do. To kind of because like if you're stuck on a decision and you see this is what people want, but is that what I really want? Do I want this choice to win instead? You start to develop kind of what you want, and sometimes it's none of the options. You're like, I don't like this. I mean, I see it as a good decision making tool as far as that goes, but to just have the fans dictate the story,
I mean, it's good to gauge what the audience thinks. Like, I mean, the most often seen polls that you would find in like legitimate works, air quotes, would be probably the character polls for manga series. Like you see these every like, few months. They'll have a character poll of, "Hey, what's everyone's favorite character?" And 90% of the time, you'll get this one dark horse character that is like wins the poll for no reason, even though they're not even a main character. And that'll tell you what characters people are interested in. So in the case of manga where they actually have to sell things and it's important what's popular, they'll bring that character to the fore more often because that character's popular and people want to see more of them.
yeah,
For
Or
fan
it means that
fiction,
you've got
that's not
one
as
internet group that really likes one character and they all band together to vote for them.
yeah the uh, I'd call it the Undertale problem, but that's a whole other thing. Anyway, yeah, so that's it's a good way of gauging what the audience is actually liking most about the story. But to let them dictate it means it's not so much your story anymore that you're telling, which can kind of be a problem sometimes.
yeah. Like if you kind of start to lose control of your story,
Mm,
to the point where I understand if you don't have a plan for your story and you're kind of writing by the seat of your pants. You're making stuff up as you go. You're trying to be writing organically, but at the same time, it is your story, and you have to
mm.
take accountability for that. You have to take responsibility for that. So things, if you let people just determine where your story goes, any
Yeah.
sort
I
of
mean, even if you're writing organically, it is still your story to tell, and if you don't know where to take the story, it's still your job to figure it out.
yeah, I mean, it's your job as a writer. You have like themes in your story that you may want to continue. You have other aspects and things that only you know. The audience doesn't know everything that you know about your story, what's going on, and you need to consider those because what the audience wants is not always what's going to make for the better story.
Mm.
So it's highly up to your judgment.
Other stuff to say about polling?
Oh man, I've seen people like go over the top with polling.
Yeah, I
Should
don't
I
believe it.
Mm.
should I remake this story? Should I, what option should I do? Should I rewrite it? Should I continue it? Should I make a new version but blue? Uh, it's
What?
like
What?
yeah, like people go over the top with polling and what people want because people want to please others. And I to that I say, write what you want to write. That's the simplest thing because it is your story. It's not a people's story. It's not the story of oh me and all my fans wrote this story together. You're the one doing the writing. The decision making should be yours as well.
It Unless you're writing a choose your own adventure story, but
And
that's an entirely different
that's an
concept.
entirely different like topic on its own.
Mm.
But you have a narrative, you have characters, you have characters that have to take arcs and things that make sense for them, and you have to consider everything that the audience doesn't know. And if
Mm.
you only know as much as your audience, I guess that's a problem in and of itself.
I mean, if eventually you want to be like a professional author and you want to be able to write what people want to see you write, then maybe, but even then, it's still kind of sketchy because you're not going to be able to take polls from people while you're in the middle of writing a story if you're writing professionally. That's just not how it works.
Yeah, it's more of it's a matter of independence, I suppose.
Mm.
And I get that, like, when you do actually write a legitimate story, if you want to be an author or something, you can have friends and family read over your work and critique you and everything, but you're not going to have all your family lined up in a room and say, all right, which decision should I make for this story? And just have a whole poll like that. No.
I mean, you could see it as a way of taking the onus off of you as the writer, which kind of takes some of the responsibility of storytelling away from you, which can be appealing. I get that. You don't want to be to blame if the story ends up turning into rubbish. That's fine, but it's still just a temptation to just dodge responsibility for writing your story. Like, it's not good to just say, oh, they made all these decisions and they ended up turning out terrible. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. I was writing the story they wanted me to write. That's
Yeah.
No, it doesn't work like that. You're still writing the story, and it was your choice to let the audience tell you how to write your own story. That may have turned out to be a mistake, and the audience made mistakes in what they chose, but you were probably wrong in the first place to have them choose for you when they knew less than you did.
And if you decide to do like a popularity poll for characters that you've been writing for, like in fan fiction, that doesn't make that much sense unless you're saying which character do you want to see more of. In which case, okay. But if it's just a popularity poll, I mean, if you're doing OCs, I guess that makes sense. But at the same time, I tend to be against OCs in fan fiction. Um, Popularity polls do serve much better, as Casey said, in mangas and stuff where they're ongoing and they're making money off this. So,
Hmm.
all right.
I mean, yeah, if you want a popularity poll for canon characters, just search that fix with that character in,
Hmm.
and you can just check them and compare. That's all it takes. Or check the probably thousands of such polls that already exist on the internet. Like, who's your favorite Harry Potter character? It's fucking there. There you go. That's the most popular one. Done. So there's not much point in doing that for canon characters anyway. So I throw that in. Anything else to say about polling before we move on?
If you do a popularity poll like that, or something that's opinion based, or just like basically submitting your input, but you're not guaranteed to change anything, don't expect a large turnout. Like not maybe like 25% of your readers are actually gonna do anything with it.
If your story is not big, just don't expect a large turnout. I mean,
Yeah.
my story, I've got like over 600 followers and favorites, but only like 30 people show up for a poll.
Yeah. Also, people won't show up for a poll if they're not. Readers tend to believe that they know better than anyone how a story should go. Some of them will tell you so vehemently. So, if you're asking them to answer a poll and you say this won't change much, I just want to gauge what the audience think, they'll probably not bother because they're not deciding anything. This is not what they want from the poll. They want to be able to say, "Hey, you should do this because I know best," and it's unfortunate. I mean, I'm the same way. I basically demonstrated that at the beginning of this fucking topic with the fucking St. George thing.
True, but he did have the
So,
option on there, so he at least considered it.
yeah. So it's probably generally not worth doing, to be honest with you.
You know what you could have done to help out that St. George thing? You could have
Mm,
voted in that poll.
I did vote in the poll.
You
How
could have got
dare
your
you?
friends to vote in that poll.
You could have told me to vote in that poll.
Oh well. All right.
Actually,
So,
should we talk about rigging polls? Because I actually message my friends all the time, and I'm like, "Hey, vote for this choice."
really,
I have a group
really,
chat with like 15 people in it, and I posted a link, and I just say, "Hey, vote for this person."
really.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna try not to judge you for that, but that's kind of sad. Okay. Fair enough. All right. Next topic. Let's move on. So the next topic is music and soundtracks, specifically soundtracks. So, you guys ever heard of this game called Undertale? It's pretty good.
Yeah,
Really?
it's kind of my game of the year for 2015.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
it's
man.
pretty good.
I heard it sucked.
No, it's pretty good, man. I don't know who you've been talking to, but it's pretty
The
good.
Well, I
soundtrack's
keep
pretty good.
well, I keep talking to these two guys and won't shut up about it, so I'm just developing the opinion that it sucks now.
The
Because
Okay,
soundtrack's pretty good.
it's pretty good. Even got remixed by a couple of YouTube guys. Did I tell you about this? I think I might have mentioned this.
Yeah.
Yeah, got remixed by a couple of YouTube guys, and they made it official. So that's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I've basically had that on my phone for the past like however long since it came out. I think like a month, and just had that on my phone and play it whenever I go and do anything.
I mean,
So
like I really like Megalovania, but that's from Homestuck, or at least where I first heard it. So that doesn't really count.
yeah, so that's a pretty good soundtrack. Um, oh, Zero, I forgot to mention. There's a fic I want you to read.
What? What is it?
I wonder if he actually listened to that episode.
I didn't.
So
Oh, great.
there's a fic. It's an Undertale fic.
Oh, great.
It's fantastic. It's
No,
um
no. I like Undertale, but I already have a hatred for the fandom.
oh no, this one's great. It really does capture the
The essence of
yeah,
Undertale.
it kind of does. So just bear with me.
Oh,
I just get the thing, because yeah, it gets like I said, it gets the essence of Undertale and puts an interesting spin on it, which I think you'll appreciate.
I have a feeling you're gonna
See,
make.
it even has Temmie as an avatar, so you know
I feel like you're gonna end up making me leave this call.
it's fine. Don't worry about it.
No,
It's great.
no, no.
It's great.
The fact that it says TAIL, no,
It's great.
no,
Don't worry about it.
no. I can already tell this is not gonna be good.
Would you like to try to sell it more, Casey?
It is legitimately a well written story. It's a well written story. Honestly,
Sent to
not gonna.
climb the infamous Mount Evan on a dare, you suddenly find yourself lost in a world filled with beautiful women, a talking flower, and danger around every corner. Can you survive a Monster Girl novelization of the original Undertale with lemons abounding every chapter and harem elements in the No Mercy path? Each chapter of the first will have good and evil versions.
Yeah. See, that was a perfectly
And
serviceable
it's
summary right
told
there.
from second person point of view.
It is.
Fantastic. The best person point of view.
Well, it makes sense for the game, for the setting, because that's how it works in the game. So that's fine. Yeah, I think you should read it. I think you'll enjoy it. Oh, has he dropped out the call?
I don't think so.
Yes. Yes, he did.
How did
He
he tell
probably
me
had to
this?
go to work anyway.
Yeah. Oh well. I'm sure he'll appreciate my suggestion.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's definitely going to read this.
His life will be bettered for having read it. I'm sure it'll be fine. It'll be great. Our lives will be better him having read it
Why?
because his anguish amuses me. Um.
You're going to cause him
Oh.
to snap, and I don't know which one of us lives closest to him, but it might be me.
It's you. It's
Uh,
definitely you.
Shit.
uh. Okay. So soundtracks. Aside from Undertale, which is great. Why did Ken bring this up exactly?
I don't know. Just there are certain series above others that had better soundtracks to me than others, and really added to the series overall. And I was just wondering if there's anything like that for you guys.
Bayonetta.
Okay. Bayonet is a pretty good one.
Like you all know how I feel about Metal Gear Rising: Revenge. It's a soundtrack.
Okay, that's a
No, I
good
don't
answer.
actually. I don't think you ever mentioned the soundtrack. Just the fact that you get to punch a senator in the
Screw
face over
you.
and over.
He's back.
I didn't. What?
Screw you.
I just wanted to give you a nice fic to read.
Don't. Don't talk to me.
But you're on a podcast.
Just don't even. Whatever just happened, just. It never happened. All
Sure.
right?
Okay.
I don't know what his problem is.
We're we're on soundtracks now, and I'm talking about the greatness that is Metal Gear Rising: Revenge. It's a soundtrack,
Oh, yeah, that's a really good soundtrack.
especially during
And,
the boss fights because you
oh,
get like instrumental version during boss fights, and then when it gets the higher gear the fight gets into, then the vocals kick in.
boom, vocals come in. It's great timing. It's actually what makes the soundtrack even better. It's just crazy.
Oh, Nia had an excellent soundtrack. Not so much if you download it and try and actually listen to it, because there are like 12 different versions of the same song.
You know,
12
you know
versions.
what? You know what didn't have an excellent soundtrack?
What?
Five Nights at Freddy's World.
Okay, I don't really care about YouTube bait games, so I'm
You
not
know
gonna.
that game was pulled from the Steam store?
I heard about that. Why was that? If we can divert into that for
Because
just a second.
everybody hated it,
Because it
and
was buggy and unfinished.
no,
Oh.
it was finished, I guess, but everybody hated it, uh, and it was quote unquote finished, as in you couldn't check your stats, for example, in the game, or see what any of the moves actually did, or there were no options for anything. So yeah, it was finished to Scott. It was not finished to anybody else. It missed a lot of the things that made an actual RPG. And then he released a formal apology, refunded everybody their money, and is gonna make a better version with a full 3D overworld, and also was going to make that version free.
Huh. All right.
But the soundtrack was still horrible. And I think the
In
thing that
fairness, he probably made a fuck ton of money from the other Five Nights at Freddy's games, so
yeah,
no skin off his nose.
and I think the thing about a good soundtrack is it needs to be memorable. I guess is the main thing above everything else. There's a melody you have to strike, like that makes it memorable, or lyrics even. Good lyrics can. I mean, it can't always save a bad song, but
Not so much a music person, are you, Zero?
no, I'm not. Can you
Okay.
tell?
Yeah, a little bit.
Why are we
So
talking
what?
about
So what?
this?
So what Zero's talking about as far as a melody you need to strike? He's talking about hooks. You need a good hook, something that will catch in the mind, so they will remember it. Something memorable about the song, like for example, I would probably call the theme for Evangelion.
Mm-hmm.
Cruel Angel Thesis.
That's the one.
Mm-hmm.
uh, you know how the chorus repeats itself twice? The bit just between the two different repetitions, there's a sort of a build and then a sting at the end of it that's kind of striking. That is an example of a hook because it's striking, it catches in your memory, and it makes you kind of want to listen to it again, which makes you want to listen to the song again. It's kind of the point. For soundtracks, a hook isn't necessarily that vital so much, unless you specifically want people to just buy the soundtrack and listen to it on its own. Thing about soundtracks is you kind of want people to not notice them.
Yeah, they have to be pleasant to listen to, but not distracting enough to pull you away from what you're doing. Unless, like in Revengeance, it just adds to things.
Mm.
Like where the
Like,
lyrics kick in, we start kicking ass. That's pretty cool.
like if you're stopping in the middle of the game or the show or whatever and thinking, "Holy shit, this is a really good song." Congratulations to the composer. You've made a really good song. You have not made a very good soundtrack, though. Because the idea is soundtracks are designed to add to the moment that is happening. So, for example, Lord of the Rings. It's a pretty good example of a soundtrack, I'll be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't have a soundtrack in those grand sweeping shots across countryside of the Fellowship riding through the hills and whatnot, if you didn't have the soundtrack, it'd be some dudes riding through the hills.
Yeah,
It's
it
not a big
hooks in
deal.
your mind.
But with the grand sweeping orchestra swelling da 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 and all that stuff, it
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
sounds epic and like an incredible adventure is taking place. That's what the soundtrack does. It accentuates both what's happening at the moment and what's happening in the scope of the story.
A main theme is good.
A leitmotif, yes.
Like a leitmotiv for your thing you're doing is good. Something that's really recognizable. The rest of the soundtrack can be not as recognizable. That's fine. If you have a main theme that's very solid and you can build off that, it's pretty good.
Hmm. It's also good to have smaller leitmotifs for, like, say, a lot of the time you'll have like character leitmotifs.
Yeah,
So a certain theme that will play for a certain character.
and like this is in video games. This is in my previous D&D group. My DM would go out and he'd pick songs for certain bosses as their leitmotifs and characters as the songs that would play, and normally it would fill us with dread, um, because he picked some pretty intimidating songs.
Hmm.
He did take a lot from the Metal Gear Rising Revengeance soundtrack too, because that is
Hmm.
very good for leitmotifs. Um, but yeah, soundtracks are nice. I don't know anything about music.
Hmm.
Considering that this is a writing podcast.
In fairness, yeah. I'm glad I kind of told Zero what a leitmotif was though.
I know what a leitmotif is. I just don't know when to use the word all the time. It's a theme of a character or something. It's a leitmotif, yeah.
Not
It's
not necessarily a theme. It's just like a couple of bars of a melody that will play for that particular character. So, I'm trying to think of.
Proto Man and the whistle. There's
oh yeah.
Rouge the Bat in Sonic X. There's the saxophone that always plays like every single time she
Okay.
talks. That was
Yeah,
hilarious.
those are probably good examples. Like, God, I can't think right now, to be honest. I don't know.
Oh gosh, why did I open up this Undertale fic?
This is perfect.
Okay, so I was curious, and now I regret being curious. Let me read this line out. In order to
Go
take
ahead.
control of a human soul, a monster will have to dot 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 will have to have dot 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 intercourse with the human's body in order to gain dominance over the soul and force it under their command. Which basically means you have to not be raped by everything in order to
Yep.
win.
Yep.
You asked if
Is
the
that
same
Toriel
thing
explaining
happens.
this? Like, is that why she's so hesitant? Or
Yes, that's Toriel saying this after Flowey tried to rape the main character, aka you.
wow.
You asked if the same thing happens if the sex is consensual. What? So the fight command is rape, and the act command is consensual sex.
No, the fight command is rape. The act command is please don't rape me.
Okay, but what? I don't.
I love this podcast. It's the
I
best
know.
thing ever.
I just. I and Toriel's calling them a child, but it's like I'm actually over 20 years old, and I'm like, okay. Um.
Gotta
So this
pass
just
that
me.
18 barrier.
So that means that every single character is a woman, even Papyrus.
As far
It's
as I'm
Rule
aware, yeah.
63. I've seen it.
So
Yeah.
Papyrus, but there's no. How does that even? It's just okay.
They use a flashlight. They just put it in place and it just works.
Uh,
You're breaking Zero. You're breaking him. I can
I know, it's
hear him
great.
breaking apart mentally as he tries to put this together.
there's an encounter with the frog, and what? No. Uh,
What's wrong, Zero? I thought you'd like this.
uh, you're destroying my memories. Uh,
I love this podcast so much. I think I need a cigarette. Okay.
If you were playing Dragon's
please,
Dogma right now, I'd be very seriously concerned you had your pants off.
please let me know what you thought about it in a review, and please, if you have not already, buy Undertale. It is the single. Shut up. You are raising expectations for things they will not get. Uh, uh,
Well, in fairness, you can date Papyrus. That's a thing that can happen.
but he rejects you and makes it a platonic relationship.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. I got past that. It's good stuff.
Uh, and so they're making good and evil versions of each
Yep.
chapter, which
Yep.
means there's basically every other chapter is rape.
Yep.
Yep.
Uh,
The sounds that he's making, that is...
I know we had other topics, but I think we should probably leave this episode somewhere around now.
I think we're good. Yeah, we're good.
why?
I don't think we're getting Zero back this episode.
Why?
All right, thanks for listening, people.
Yeah, we'll come back to you next week. So thank you for listening to this episode 120 of the Fandom Flux podcast. It was a gem. I mean, you've
I'm
got to
actually
admit.
crying. This is bad.
please donate on Patreon if you feel so inclined. If you'd like to get in contact with us, you can do so through the YouTube channel, through the comments. Please let us know what you think of this episode.
And buy Undertale if you haven't already.
Yeah. And of course, you probably should read Undertale with Tail because Zero apparently is enjoying it quite a lot. He's crying. He's in tears. He's enjoying it so much. So happy. It's beautiful. Once again, I'd like to thank everybody for listening to the Fandom Flux Podcast episode 120. Bye now.
Bye. It's okay. It's gonna be okay, Zero. Read some more Undertale.